No way. Am I live? Please tell me I'm live. Let's go!
Knock, knock.
Wait, why do I have ads on here? No! How do I get rid of ads? Oh, whatever. Finally, though, we're live. Let's go. Okay, so I have no clue how to set up any streaming stuff. I also want to make sure. Wait, why do I have ads on here? No. How do I get rid of ads? Okay, so this looks pretty centered, I'd say. Finally, though, we're live. Let's go. I think I'm gonna have to move that to the right, but I'm gonna. So, I've never streamed before, done any of this stuff, so this is brand new to me, but I'm sorry, bro. I thought I could get this up by like 420, 425, but then I had to like type in a stream key, whatever. If any of you guys have a live stream, you probably know. But today is a huge day. Today's the NBA draft, bro. Okay, so for this, we have the draft screen on the board here. Okay, wait, let me see if that will come up. So we got the draft. Okay, so we got the my big board on the screen right here. So it starts out, we're going to just go through for a bit. It's just like wraps around, so instead of having the ESPN big board. But there, okay. So we got LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, then we have Onyeka Okongwu, who recently actually just like broke his foot, which was very concerning, or broke his toe, which isn't going to be too bad. I don't think his draft stock will fall. Denny at 4. Denny may be one player I think will slide in the draft. Don't get me wrong, I think Denny's an hype prospect, but I think he's going to fall. Same thing with Killian Hayes. I mean, hopefully he goes to the Knicks at 8. That'd be my dream personally. Then Obi Toppin. A lot of teams want Obi Toppin. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets taken by the Warriors at number 2, and that's like a shock pick. James Weisman. A lot of people like James Weisman. Not the biggest fan of him. Just going to put that out there. Then Devin Vassell at 8. His shot looked very messed up in one video, but that was not his real shot for him. He posted a whole workout and everything. He was just messing around, so don't worry about that. Tyrese Halliburton at 9. Really just like maybe the biggest floor in the draft. I don't know. Not much on Tyrese that's too like crazy. Then Kira Lewis Jr., one of my favorite prospects. That's why he's up at 10 on my list. Isaac Okoro, he's a solid prospect. You know you're getting that great defensive player out of him, so he's got a great floor. Tyrese Maxey, he didn't play too well in college, but his talent is there, and it's going to take some time to grow. Tyrell Terry, dudes shoots very well, is very athletic and underrated athletically. Cole Anthony. This is what I'm going to say about Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony is, I don't see him like even as a starter. I could see him as like a microwave scorer off the bench. He's got insane talent, and the big downside about him was at North Carolina, he really didn't have a good good role players around him. He had like one decent high school prospect, or one decent like center, but outside of him, he was playing with scrubs who gave him no floor spacing, and he really just like wasn't able to show off his like playmaking skills in college, which, I mean, his playmaking skills aren't anything crazy, but it just made him such a worse playmaker that I think that's going to make him fall in the draft a ton. And due to that, I would find it hard for him to go very far. Or I would find it hard for him to get taken early. No, the sound's slow. Worst playmaker. I think that's going to make him fall in the draft a ton. And due to that, I would find it hard for him to... Yo, is the sound, like, audio is all that good? I would find it hard for him to get... Comment down below if the sound and everything's good. This is my first stream. And then, okay, Aleksej Pogusevsky. This dude is insanely talented. I want you guys to understand that. This dude is insanely talented. Like, he's probably got top 5 talent in the entire draft. He's 7 foot and plays so fluidly, like, almost like a guard. But the thing about him is, like, he's playing for the Olympiacos B team, which, I mean, if any, like, half-decent NBA player, even G League players are playing the Olympiacos B League, I mean, they're scoring, like, 50 points a game, maybe even more. So that's why it's, like, hard to judge him, but based off of his talent, it's insane how, like, much potential this dude has. The only issue I have about him and why he's at 16 for me is a lot of reports have come out that he has a terrible attitude, and for a huge project like Alex Pokusevski to have a terrible attitude, that scares me. I don't know about you guys, but that scares me a lot. Then we'll go on to go on to 17 here, which is RJ Hampton. RJ Hampton's good and all. I mean, it's just like, doesn't really have a shot yet, which will probably need to be prevalent for him to be kind of one of those like top tier players in the NBA. I don't think that's ever going to happen to him. I hope he goes to the Mavericks, because like he can just like rot with Kristaps. Maybe not rot with Kristaps. Maybe I don't wish that on RJ Hampton, because the Knicks might take him at 23. But I really hope the Knicks don't take RJ Hampton at 23 after I said that. But RJ Hampton, I just don't like guards in this age of the NBA who don't have outside jump shots. He has the potential to, but like then again, like his skills aren't so good that it'll make up for his lack of a jump shot. He's going to need to develop a jump shot if he wants to be successful. 18, Jalen Smith. This is a player, if he falls to 23 and the Knicks don't take Obi Toppin, he will be all over him. He also fits great with like Boston. He fit great with Portland before, but I made these graphics earlier, and I mean, Portland got Robert Covington, and I mean, they low-key got the same hair, but I really enjoy Jalen Smith's game. He's shown some games like, I forget what team it was. I think Indiana, where he looked like a top 10 pick when I was watching that game, and he's incredible. All his film kind of like lines up to it. He's the perfect power forward who can stretch the floor, crash the boards. He is very frail in the post, but the good thing about that is something that can be correctable. And with these like young prospects, super like risky, you kind of want to look for things that can be easily fixed rather than like lack of athleticism, because those things can't be fixed, and it really like shows a big difference in potential. What did I just say there? Holy. And by the way, for all of you guys out there wondering, I'm doing this like strictly off the top of my head, so I don't have any notes in front of me. This is all on prior knowledge, so I may be stumbling a bit. And also, I do want to tell you guys, the reason I haven't been uploading recently is because I have tennis elbow in both my elbows. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like every time I move my elbow, it hurts because there's some sort of like discomfort because I like overusage. So I haven't been able to edit and do all that much. So if you guys like the live streams and want more, definitely tell me down below, because these are like the only things I can do right now, and I felt terrible not being able to post during the NBA or before the NBA draft. So comment down below if you guys want to see more of those. And now, okay, I got my chat pulled up. What's going on, guys? I really messed up. But the thing is, like, I really don't care. Honestly, I'd rather have less people in here. So, like, if you guys have any questions, comment them down below. If you have any bold predictions, like all that type of stuff. If I were to give one bold prediction about the draft, I would say that, if I were to give one bold prediction about the draft, I would say that Patrick Williams is selected in the top 4 by the Hornets or the Bulls. That's my bold prediction. I don't like Patrick Williams too much as a prospect. I think it's absurd that he's going in the top 4, especially after being very inefficient at Florida State. I know the Florida State offense is weird and all, but Devin Vassell, who's a shooter, was able to do much better than Patrick Williams at Florida State, which concerns me. But we're going to go... I mean, Adam Silver is just talking right now, so before we go into this draft, I do want to go over the top 5 prospects a bit more, just so we get a sense of them and where I think they'll go. So, Timberwolves are on the clock right now. I mean, what can you say? This is LaMelo Ball territory. I mean, if we look at everything, LaMelo Ball, he's like not only the most talented point guard prospect, but the most talented player in the entire NBA draft. I mean, he has elite length. He's 6'7", 180, and he's still growing. That's the crazy thing. He's like 19 years old, and he's still going to keep growing. The best part about his game, by far in my opinion, is his passing, as he probably is the best passer we've ever seen coming out of the draft. Like, his court vision is incredible. He continually, he does these things where he, looks off defenders and then makes passes that are absurd. He can make every single pass possible with his wingspan and just touch. And he's, the most creative passer we've seen coming out of the draft. I think ever. I mean, you could maybe say Lonzo, but this dude is doing, stuff you do, back on the blacktop playing hoops. His feel for the game is incredible, and his offensive instincts for an 18-year-old are extraordinary. His shot is promising, though, and I know this is a big thing for everyone, but he did shoot the three ball, or not the three ball, he shot 37% from the field in Australia. Now, we know this isn't the best, and this will need to improve. We also got to keep in mind, in the first, 3 days, I believe, maybe a bit more, LaMelo Ball shot 9% from 3. Or the first 3 games for the Hawks. He shot 9% from 3 or something. There's a huge stat going around. LaMelo Ball shot 9%. This dude sucks, whatever. But then as he continued to, get more used to the physicality, kind of get used to it with Australia, too, he began to, increase his shooting percentages, and by the end of the season, he shot 25% from three-point range. By no means am I saying that this is good. However, there's vast improvement in his shooting percentages, and, I mean, we kind of know what LaMelo Ball is as a shooter. He's a volume shooter who can get very hot at times. And the thing about LaMelo that I like the most is if he's just respected from the three-point line, if defenders just don't let him shoot a three ball and they force him to guard up on him and don't let him pull up from deep, that'll open up so many opportunities for him in the pick and roll game. And that's my favorite part about LaMelo Ball. Those opportunities are going to be endless. And I feel like he can kind of operate the offense. I'm not calling him Luka Doncic, but I feel like he can facilitate the offense in a similar way that Luka Doncic does, except instead of scoring so much, he'll be more of a facilitator. I know that's crazy. I pulled out the Luka Doncic card, but that's how high I am on this kid. Now, there are concerns about his effort and everything, and if we're being honest, I would love to see him go to Minnesota, but his effort and his effort just it's not gonna look good. I'm so sad to hear it because Karl Anthony Towns already plays with some of the least effort I've ever seen out of anyone. Andrew Wiggins, he kind of has a lazy personality, but he played with effort. Karl Anthony Towns really doesn't play with effort. And that's the sad thing. He has so much potential and talent and everything, but doesn't play with effort. And then D'Lo has all the talent as well, and he actually is a good defender when he tries, but he doesn't try, and I don't think having LaMelo Ball there will be much better. But they're 27, 26. I don't know why they haven't made the selection, but if I'm the Timberwolves here, I would think I'd select Anthony Edwards. And hopefully they do select Anthony Edwards, or else I really hope my dream scenario though would be that the Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards and the Warriors select LaMelo Ball. Outside of course the Knicks selecting LaMelo Ball. But this is really becoming crazy. Okay, wait, let me get this set up. Okay. I'm gonna keep my big board going. But, okay, the pick's in. But honestly, tell me what you guys think about LaMelo Ball versus Anthony Edwards. Who do you guys think that the Timberwolves should select? I personally would say LaMelo. I wouldn't be mad at either pick. I think either pick would be amazing. I wouldn't be mad at either pick. Okay, the pick is being announced. No, they selected Anthony Edwards. Oh my god, this is huge. This is huge. No way. Wow. The Timberwolves selected Anthony Edwards. That's insane to me. And the reason this is crazy is because for all the Knicks fans out there, this is huge. This is huge. I don't see any way how the Warriors select LaMelo Ball. Unless they use him as trade bait. But I don't see any way the Warriors select LaMelo Ball. I would be shocked. But the Knicks recently traded that up to the 23rd pick. I think something could be brewing in a potential Warriors and Knicks trade. I know there hasn't been too much said about it, but I think it could be a real possibility. And this is huge. This would be huge. But holy. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I'm used to like going on Twitter and stuff before and looking at the pick. No, I can't do that though. But wow. I mean, obviously that's the right pick. Anthony Edwards though, that pick's amazing. I love that pick. The good thing I like about that pick is with D'Lo and Cat there, Anthony Edwards, he has this like kind of work hard mentality, but he is a bit lazy on the floor. I don't think that's just like attitude. I don't think he has a lazy attitude. I think it was more or less when you're double and triple teamed constantly, at some point you're just going to let your teammates who are like basically playing 4-on-3 do a lot more of the work instead of you who's constantly getting swarmed when you have the ball in your hands. That's what I'd say for that pick. And holy crap, he gets an $11 million per year contract. That's crazy. But so my number 2 prospect is off the board in Anthony Edwards. And honestly, I'm giving that pick an A. That pick deserves an A. Pick deserves an A. That pick 100% deserves an A. Okay. Well, after that, I mean, Anthony Edwards, he's going to be a perfect fit for that team. If he can kind of like get back to the swing of things when he wasn't doubled and triple teamed, I think he's going to be a great scorer. I don't understand why people say he's a bust so much. Like, I don't see very much bust potential. I don't even know where he could bust. He has one of the best all-round games in the entire NBA draft. Like, this past season, he had a struggle. He was inefficient. But, I mean, he has elite athleticism. He's going to be a great defender coming into the NBA at the guard position. Guards are becoming more and more prevalent in the NBA. So, I mean, taking a guard here was a no-brainer. And when you can get a guard who fits your biggest team need at as like a defensive stopper, you got to take it. Comment down below if you guys have any opinions on it. Or if you have any questions, anything going on. But holy, that's crazy to me. So next up, the Warriors. I don't know if the Warriors have made their selection. They always wind it down all the way. If this is going to become like the football draft where they take 20 minutes in between each pick, I may be a bit disappointed. But I mean, I think they're going to take Weisman. I could be completely wrong. Hear me out. I could be completely wrong, but I think they're going to take Weisman. I'm not the biggest fan of Weisman, and I just don't like his hands, and especially next to Steph Curry with all those lobs that he's going to have. I don't know how that whole scenario is going to work. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't know how that whole scenario is going to work, but more importantly, it's going to be very interesting. Sounds working. I don't know. I need to improve the quality and stuff, so let me know down below and all that stuff. But next, bro, I don't see how the Warriors don't take James Wiseman. Like, and to be honest, I know there are a lot of James Wiseman fans and think he could be the next Joel Embiid or whatnot, but that's if he hits. If he hits, he's the number 2 overall pick. Who's the next, like, Joel Embiid. And he's not going to be that. He doesn't resemble his game at all. But I don't like the hype around him. I don't think he can't be a good player. But there's so many questions about his name that I don't understand how he's the number 2 overall pick. His hands are very questionable. And I find that scary, especially from a center who's about to catch a ton of lobs. When you're a center and you're going for all these passes, you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared to catch all these. You got to be prepared to catch all these lobs, do all this stuff, because that's basically like, as a 7-1 athletic center, that's basically what you're going to be doing. And I mean, like any 7-1 athletic center would, he dominated in his 3 games, averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. But then again, you have to keep in mind he's going up against, like, at the most 6'8" power forwards who wouldn't be in the NBA. Keep that in mind as well. But due to his incredible frame and athleticism for someone who is 7'1", James Wiseman will be able to make a pretty big impact in the beginning of his career as a rim protector. In the pick and roll game, and I think he has potential as a post player. I'm not going to rule that out, but I wouldn't say that's going to be like a huge thing immediately. Now, because of James' physical attributes in a weak draft class, he seems to be a lock in the top 10, but there are still some very concerning parts about his game. Like, I can't get over this. To begin, he doesn't have good hands, I talked about that already, and struggles catching alley-oop and finishing putbacks at times. Also, his shot form is pretty wonky, and he has a weird side spin on his shot, which doesn't look like it will translate well to the NBA. To continue, his instincts on the defensive side of the ball look very poor, and he will probably have issues with foul trouble early on in his career, similar to Mitchell Robinson. Finally, James hasn't shown in the offseason that he can handle the ball pretty well, but I wouldn't buy into it too much yet because it's really hard to see how handling the ball will fit into his game going forward. And can he take NBA caliber defenders off the dribble without ever doing it in college? Oh my god, the Warriors selected James Weisman. The Warriors really just selected James Weisman. Wow. I mean, I'm not really shocked, but that's huge. I mean, it'd be dope to see a draft combine of James Wiseman, and the Warriors, I mean, I guess they've done their research, but I'm not big on the dude. I'm not big on the dude at all. But the thing about James Wiseman is he's shown potential that he can be like a perimeter player, but I think he's going to be more like a Mitchell Robinson type player. Like, if you guys out there know who Mitchell Robinson is, he's a massive 7'1", kind of lanky center for the Knicks who can jump, he can dunk, he can basically do anything with his hands possible. No homo. And he's just a really, like, solid player around the rim. And that's what James Wiseman kind of needs to be going forward as a 7'2" athletic center. He's not going to be the type of player who's going to be like on the outside sitting in the corner for a three-point shot. He needs to be the guy crashing the boards, the guy going after rebounds, going after loose balls. He can't really do that if he's on the perimeter waiting to beat his man off the dribble. I mean, that could be prevalent in his game every once in a while, but I don't see that being like a huge thing or a huge part of his game going forward. And that's why he's not as high on my board. That's why I have him as the number 7 prospect. I think he's going to be more like a Hassan Whiteside. That'd be my player comparison for James Wiseman. However, with the selection of James Wiseman, this makes things interesting. Now more than ever, I'm rubbing my LaMelo Ball Knicks jersey. If you guys don't know, I have a LaMelo Ball Knicks jersey on right now, and I'm rubbing that thing for good luck. If LaMelo Ball is not selected right here, or if the Knicks can package together a trade for him, I would be so happy. Because the thing about LaMelo Ball, like, the fit, there are so many fits for LaMelo Ball at this position, but more importantly, I think the Hornets should select LaMelo Ball. As much as I want him to be a Knick, and as much as I don't want the Hornets to select LaMelo Ball, at the end of the day, they need to. Michael Jordan recently came out and said that they have his blessing if they want to select LaMelo Ball, which is huge because I don't know if the Hornets kind of thought that LaMelo Ball would be here at 3 until maybe like 2 days ago, because LaMelo Ball is by far the best talent in this entire draft class, and I'd be shocked if he falls past 3. I know there are concerns about his jump shot, but like this, he's one of the best prospects we've seen, like, ever. Okay. I'm reaching. That's a bit of my LaMelo Ball fandom coming out of me, but he's an incredibly talented prospect that has 2 downsides that can be fixable with a better attitude, like better shot. His weaknesses are his defensive effort and shot selection, in my opinion. If he can fix those, and then maybe tweak his shooting form a little bit so he's a bit more respected from 3-point range, I don't see the downside with going after LaMelo Ball. I really don't. But, I mean, the Warriors, obviously, I don't think they should have taken him. But the Hornets need to do something big. They need to make a splash. And I think taking LaMelo Ball is it right now. The pick is in. I want the Hornets to take LaMelo Ball. But at the end of the day, if they don't, I'd be super hyped. If they don't. And by the way, I'm not grading the James Wiseman pick because honestly, actually, I will grade the James Wiseman pick. I'll give that pick a C. I'll give that pick a C. I wasn't too big of a fan of it. But the pick is in. Some of you guys in the chat may know what the pick is already. Some of you guys in the chat may know the pick already, but pick is in. Pick is in. No, they selected LaMelo Ball. Great pick by the Hornets, man. Great pick by the Hornets. Dang. Great pick by the Hornets. Man. Incredible pick by the Hornets. Best pick of the draft. That just makes me so sad. That just makes me so sad. Yo, why isn't this updating? Okay. Back is updated. Bro, that's why it was probably so weird. I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Move that down a little bit. Oh, no, not that. Okay, bet. Sorry about that. I did not even notice. I thought it'd update like automatically, but now we got our timer up on the board. Yo, this is sick. Yo, this is sick, actually. Why didn't I do this before? Okay, well, with the 4th overall pick, we can't skip anything. Overall, though, I'm giving that pick an A+. That's one of the best picks I've seen out of the entire draft. LaMelo Ball is an absolute tank. I think he's going to be a very good player in the NBA for years to come. And one thing that I want you guys to keep your eye on. Where does this leave us with Russell Westbrook? The Hornets and the Knicks were two big suitors for Russell Westbrook. I mean, are the Hornets still going to be a suitor for Russell Westbrook? I don't think so. I think LaMelo Ball needs the ball in his hands, and Russell Westbrook will just take away from LaMelo's development. And where does that leave Russell Westbrook? I hope he doesn't get traded to the Knicks, but if the Knicks don't take a point guard, if Killian Hayes doesn't fall to the Knicks, man, Russell Westbrook could easily be going there for a cheap price, and that is not very good for all of you Knicks fans out there. And that is something that scares me a lot. And the thing is, people try and compare LaMelo Ball and Lonzo Ball's jump shot. They're completely different. I want you guys to know that. LaMelo Ball and Lonzo Ball are completely different. Completely different players. So, I mean, if you were to give LaMelo Ball a comparison, it would probably be Lonzo Ball. But that just shows how unique LaMelo's ball game is. Or LaMelo Ball game is. But, okay, the pick is in for the Bulls. This is going to be an interesting pick for me. Because the Bulls, they were trying to trade Wendell Carter Jr. to move up in the draft. I think they had their eyes on Weisman for a bit, but that kind of quickly crumbled to pieces. And now they're kind of like stuck. Are they going to go Denny Advidia? That's who I'd have the Bulls selecting. I'd have the Bulls select Denny because they need kind of that playmaking small forward. Because I don't know if Zach LaVine is a big part of their future, if I'm being completely honest. And Kobe White doesn't seem like a huge playmaker, especially due to his amount of turnovers per game. I think Kobe White's an incredible player, don't get me wrong, but I think he turns the ball over a bit too much. So I'm not sold on him as a complete like facilitator just yet. So that's where I find things a bit interesting. But comment down below who you guys think the Bulls should pick. I want to see what you guys have to say about that. But currently, I would say Denny Advidia. And I don't know when they're going to select this pick. They've been mad weird about this. But just to give a brief background about Denny Advidia before we get into this. Okay, wait. The Bulls are selecting the pick. Give me a second. I don't know why this one's not updating. The Bulls pick. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! No way! I would be upset if I'm a Bulls fan right now. No way. That was my bold prediction to start. You guys can rewind that. That was my bold prediction to start. Oh my gosh, that was my bold prediction to start. That's crazy. I don't know if... That's a terrible pick. Terrible pick. Terrible pick. Giving that pick easily. I'm not... I mean, I gotta be real, though. I gotta be real. I'm giving that pick an F. Actually, I'm not gonna give that pick an F just yet. I do want to see what the Bulls saw in him that I didn't, just to see if I'm, like, being weird and all that. But I would be upset if I'm a Bulls fan and got lucky in the lottery and then took Patrick Williams. Because, man, oh man. I mean, I had him going to the Spurs in my last mock draft. I didn't really see why Patrick Williams was so, like, overtaken or oversaw it, especially after his performance at Florida State. Like, we gotta keep in mind, at Florida State, this guy really didn't put up many numbers. I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but here, let me look him up. Let me look him up here. Okay, his stats at Florida State. He averaged 9.2 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. And I know stats aren't everything, and he was a freshman, and, like, there's potential there. But this is risky, especially when you have Deni Avdija sitting on the board in front of you, who just had an incredible stint in the EuroLeague and completely just destroyed in the months of June and July. He was averaging 17 and 13 points per game in the EuroLeague and Euro Cup. Right? I don't even know. I don't think he played in the Euro Cup. I think he played in the EuroLeague. And for those of you guys who don't know, the EuroLeague is probably the second best league in the entire world, other than the NBA, of course. Wow, I'm shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if someone trades up with the Cavs here and takes Deni Avdija. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks trade up one spot to take him, just to secure him. He would be an incredible fit with the Hawks with his playmaking, and he'll take some stress off of Trae Young. And, I mean, the thing about Deni Avdija that makes me, like, shocked that the Bulls didn't select him, is his floor of being, like, a good defender and, like, kind of being a little bit like Danilo Gallinari was pretty high. He had one of the highest floors in the draft, but the Bulls just said, like, F it, and just went balls to the wall and took a shot in the dark. It's basically what it is at the end of the day. So, I mean, that's what I have to say about that. I'm still shocked about that. But, I mean, if they hit on this pick, though, good for them. He's probably getting a lot of hate right now. You never want to see that, especially from a talented player like him. Now, no one should be hating on Patrick Williams right now. That's the biggest thing. No one should be hating on Patrick Williams. We've been through this road. We've been down this road with Kristaps Porzingis and all that. No one should be hating on Patrick Williams. No one. But one thing that people have the ability to hate on are the Chicago Bulls with that pick. And I'm curious. Oh my God. Cleveland just continues to field trade offers. Oh my God. The pick's in. Or the picks. Bro, okay. If you guys in the live stream right now, leave a comment if you guys just say we ditch this live draft thing and go to Woj's Twitter. Do we just go to Woj's Twitter and wait for some Woj bombs? Would you guys rather do that instead of doing this this thing? Because the 5th pick is already in. And I just saw who it was. The 5th pick is in. And, I mean, at some point, you know what? We're ditching this. We're going with Woj's Twitter. Okay, I'm going to pause this somehow. See how I can pause this. But we're going to Woj's Twitter. Okay, Okay, I'm still gonna have this up though. But I am gonna pull up Woj's Twitter. Need to refresh that. No, still Dani Avdija. Still Dani Avdija. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen right now, but just constantly refreshing this. It says Cleveland. It looks like the pick is going to be Isaac Okoro. Dang. I was not expecting that pick from Cleveland, if I'm being completely honest. And also, I'm confused on what people don't like about Dani Avdija. I had him as the clear-cut number 4 overall pick. However, I was not expecting this, but I do think this is a good pick. To an extent. I think it's a good fit. And in this NBA draft, I think it's becoming a bit more clear that a lot of teams are just kind of going after who they like. I think a lot of teams are going after some of the safer prospects first. Actually, I don't know, because Patrick Williams was on the board. You know what? This draft is weird. I really could be surprised. Anyone could be up next. Anyone. But with that pick, I mean, hey, if we're looking at it, the Cavs, they filled up a need at small forward. I mean, they have their backcourt locked up, supposedly. I mean, we'll see how Garland pans out. But outside of that, though, they got Obi Toppin now. Or no, they don't have. They have Isaac Okoro now. I mean, it's an okay pick. I'm not too crazy on it. I mean, Okoro averaged 13 points and 4 rebounds at Auburn. He's a huge project on the offensive side of the ball. His athleticism paired with his defensive instincts will probably make him a top defensive player in the NBA pretty fast. He attacks the rim on the offensive side of the ball with extreme force. If you've seen an Auburn game, people will literally move themselves out of the way. He's shown glimpses to be able to operate as the main ball handler in the pick and roll, and I'm not too sure how promising that is. They're glimpses similar to Devin Vassell and how he has the ability to create his own shot. But in those glimpses, he looked very good. Being a freshman, he showed great basketball IQ and court vision. but didn't really have many opportunities to show this off at Auburn. When coming to the NBA, which is much more fast-paced, and the Cavs I expect to be a very fast-paced team, probably saw this and was a huge reason why they wanted to select him. Because the Cavs have two young backcourt players. Now they have Isaac Okoro. And I think sneakily, the Cavs may be competing for a playoff spot. I think they realize that they have Andre Drummond, Kevin Love. Now they get a defensive stopper at small forward in Isaac Okoro. And they have two guards who can facilitate the offense pretty well. Like, this team's really coming together, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up making the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference. But, I mean, we'll wait and see how that goes. But Atlanta Hawks are on the clock here. This is a weird one. I think they should pick Onyeka Okongwu. I'm surprised he's dropped. I'm not surprised, but I'm saddened that he dropped all the way to 6 so far. And, I mean, who knows how long he's going to drop. Because he's really, like, I don't think people give him the credit he deserves. If you guys know what that means. Like, he does all the little things for his team. And the biggest stat that's so huge in my mind, other than his, like, Bam Adebayo and all that stuff. Oh, shoot, I completely forgot to give a grade to Isaac Okoro and the Cavs. Oh, gosh. I'm getting bad at this grading thing. If I were to give a grade to Isaac Okoro and I would probably give Isaac Okoro to the Cavs a B-. And I'm being strict out here. I gave Patrick Williams an F. So don't be offended by that to any Cavs fans out there. However, I think the going for the playoffs route is a little bit far-fetched, and personally, I don't think competing for an 8 seed is worth it. But, I mean, if you can just get experience for your backcourt, I mean, I guess it's worth it. But I'd rather like to see the Cavs maybe take Onyeka Okongwu there, who would kind of hopefully take away all of Andre Drummond's minutes. And he'd be a solid piece going forward next to those two great guards, or one great guard in Colin Sexton and one project guard in Darius Garland. But the pick is in for the Cavs, and they haven't announced it yet, so we're going to stay on this page. But, oh my gosh. Oh, I thought it just said that the Knicks traded with the Pistons. I would very want to see the Knicks jump up the Pistons here. That's personally what I want to see. I want to see the Knicks jump the Pistons here to select Killian Hayes. However, with the way this draft has gone, if the Hawks don't pick Okongwu here, like, there's some serious players still on the board. There's some serious players on the board. I think they should pick Denny, if we're being honest. I think Denny's the perfect fit here. But there's still some serious players on the board. Oh my god, they picked Onyeka. Great pick for the Hawks. However, this is an incredible pick for the Hawks. Incredible pick for the Hawks. Incredible pick for the Hawks. What's going on here? Okay, got that back. This is an incredible pick for the Hawks, in my opinion. Onyeka is my number 3 player on the board, as you guys can see. And I think this pick is great. And the thing about Onyeka is he doesn't get the credit he deserves. The 6'9" power forward and center out of USC, he elevated his play in draft stock as of recent, or in this past season, and he just completely improved his game on so many different levels. In each game, Onyeka had a huge impact on his team and is flat out the best player on the floor. It's hard to explain how impactful Onyeka is in words, but he has the third best plus minus in all of college basketball. Also, keep in mind he's a freshman on an average USC team, so it's not like they're like blowing out opponents. USC, I think, went 22-9 this past season, and he had the third best plus minus in all of college basketball on a 22-9 team. There are teams like San Diego State this year with Malachi Flynn, who absolutely just destroy teams. There were so many good teams in college basketball, even Dayton with Obi Toppin. But Onyeka Okongwu on USC was the one who had the third best plus minus in all of college basketball. That's crazy to me. And then, it's incredible. His impact on the defensive side of the ball is evident in every single possession, and he really became the leader for this USC team. Oh my god. There's a trade just made. I just saw a trade in the corner of my eye. Yo, someone comment in the chat the trade. Let me know down below in the chat. I really am actually curious, and I want to keep talking about Onyeka, though. But the thing about Onyeka is, in the pick and roll, he's going to be so dominant because he sets super hard screens, but more importantly, when he rolls to the rim, all these passes can easily be caught by him. He is one of the best. He has the best hands for a big man, maybe in the entire draft, out of all the top big men for sure. And he got those like playing with Lonzo and LaMelo at Chico State for sure. Or Chino Hills, not Chico State. My bad. But he really reminds me of Bam Adebayo, and I'm surprised he didn't go higher in the draft after Bam Adebayo went very high, or whose stock basically shot up during the NBA playoffs. Now for the fit, though. The fit with the Hawks, I don't understand it. I'm thinking they want to play him at like power forward, but they just traded for Clint Capella. Like, I don't understand why they go after a center. I think it's a value pick here, though. And I think that they're just getting, like, the best player available so they could maybe use him in a trade in the future. I don't know why you would trade for Clint Capella if you don't see him in your long-term future. Or if Onyeka was just such a good talent that they couldn't pass on him and they had to select him. Like, that's where I'm kind of getting confused here. But all in all, this was an incredible pick, and I would give it a B. If it was any other team that needed a center, though, A+. A+. Because Onyeka's not going to be a superstar. He's not going to be a superstar, but he's gonna have his fair share of all-star appearances. He's going to have oh my god, the Detroit Pistons just selected Killian Hayes. You're kidding. You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Oh my gosh. That's the Knicks fan of me coming out. Killian Hayes, my favorite prospect in the entire draft, and he is deserving of that pick. He was deserving of top 5 pick in my opinion, but man, A+ pick for the Pistons. A+ pick for the Pistons. I know this was kind of like a guaranteed pick, but I mean, the picks that we thought were guaranteed seemed to be guaranteed, but this was an A+. I want to get through this fast so I can talk about the Knicks, because this is about to get very interesting. But Killian Hayes, I mean, he's a great player. Like, people are really sleeping on him. He's not the most flashy or athletic, but he really brings out D'Angelo Russell's, like, Goran Dragic vibes to me. I mean, he's an incredible, like, maestro in the pick and roll game. He can do everything so well just on the offensive side of the ball with his right hand, but he really will need to improve his left hand, and he's a bit of a project still. So, I mean, that's why he's going so low. But all in all, I give this pick an A+. They deserve it. But now on to the New York Knicks. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Or I've been waiting for, at least. Maybe not you guys out there. Okay, but man, Knicks have the 8th and 23rd pick in this year's draft. We got Devin Vassell, James Weisman, okay. I should have been crossing out the players. Obi Toppin's still available. I completely forgot about that. Oh my gosh, Obi Toppin's still available. Melo Ball is still available. Denny Avdia is still available. Oh my gosh. I don't know who the Knicks pick. Comment down below who you guys want the Knicks to pick. Type down below in the chat who you guys want the Knicks to pick. But holy. I'm stressed. Okay. So still on the board we have Denny, Obi Toppin, Devin Vassell, Tyrese Halliburton still up there. Maybe at this point, there are so many options for the Knicks here that I wouldn't be against a trade down. Even if we do select someone, I'd be okay with Obi Toppin being a Knick. I've been a big Obi Toppin fan for a while. That's my number 6 prospect on the board. But, I mean, taking him at 8's a steal, and the Knicks are in a position where this isn't going to be the year they become a great team. They're definitely going to need a couple more seasons, and as the way it's looking right now, I hope Obi Toppin, Denny Avdia, Devin Vassell, those would be my top 3 right now. Obi Toppin, Denny Avdia, and Devin Vassell. If any 3 of them get taken by the Knicks, I'd be a very happy man, and the pick is in. The pick is officially in. Sorry, I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to, a bit of my fandom's going to come out here, but this is crazy right now. You guys don't understand, but holy.